Greetings and welcome to episode 25 of the Weekly Review, the weekly podcast for Words About Games, where we sit down and we talk about the games that we've been playing. I'm your host, Amy Kate Alexander, and I'm joined this week by Daffod, not Jeff, Daffod Moody.
It's going to be Gareth next, isn't it?
Elizabeth!
Even that, yeah. Elizabeth Moody, It's Monday, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means. It's
literally Monday.
Yes!
It's literally
yes.
Monday.
Yes. This is the episode where we talk about actually playing video games.
You're going to throw me under the bus like that.
Yeah.
I have had this show on my back, and I've just been carrying it all the way through March, and now April's here. It's the month of Jesus' resurrection.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
April, like whatever, 3rd or 4th this year. I mean, it can't be. It can't be exactly be a date that's set in stone since it keeps moving every year. But
that's true. Like, yeah, they keep moving it. They don't know which one it is. I think they just want to pick every month to say he was in one of these months.
It was sometime between January and December. Okay, look. That's. Did you see? You saw my. I was about to say, did you see my tweet? But you replied. You were the person who replied to it. So you saw my tweet. What have I done?
What have you done? But don't lie. You do this every time.
It's long. No,
but
this time I think
you. But this time I think you've gone super mega without realizing it. You went, "What have I truly done?"
I mean, well, with the other two that I've done this year, like once I did it. It was finished. With this one, I was like, yeah, this is too long. Or like, it's getting too long. I'm going to cut some stuff. I cut a lot, Moody. I cut a lot. And it's still
long.
It's still long. It's still really long.
Yeah. But just think, though, this ain't the Call of Duty one, because that one probably would have been massive long if you were going to continue that one. But as you're not continuing that one, that's good.
No, I'm doing Control instead. It's great. Like, and now that the writing's finished and it's just the recording and the editing, it's like cool. I can chill. There's no monkey on my back. I'm not sitting there going, I've still got like 4 chapters to write. I've still got like 3 chapters to write. Maybe I should cut these 3 paragraphs about a font, because that existed. No joke. 3 pretty chunky paragraphs about the font choice in Control. I don't know how I come up with this stuff. I really don't.
No, you go for it. You go for it.
Nah, I'm not putting the fun stuff back in. I was like, oh boy. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about Control this week. We've got 5 games to talk about in total. We've got the two headlining games. We've got Olija, because I've been pronouncing it Olija, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Olija. I haven't now played it. I don't know why I'm still holding the pen. And we've got Narita Boy. Totally didn't forget what it was that we were talking about. We've also got It Takes Two, which we're doing the continued. Yeah, the storying. We're talking about the story and characters. Among Us,
the new map,
and Outriders, which we're doing like an initial sort of like, here's a quick impressions thing, and then we'll be back next week to go in depth with it.
Hopefully.
No, we will, Moody. Even if I have to play the damn thing myself, we will be back next week to go full on into it.
Guaranteed we'll be back next week.
Outriders will be the headlining game, even if I have to play the fucking thing myself. I've now played the demo 4 times.
You have.
It was fun.
You're a trooper. You are a trooper.
But yeah. I think we should probably just get right into it, given the amount of gaming goodness that we have.
Yep.
To chat about. So let's start. Why did I put myself first? Let's talk about Olija.
Olija.
I was going to do a thing. Oh, I left my... Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, it's all gone wrong. I was going to do the thing where I pulled up the Steam Store page and then I was like, it's this game. This is the game. And then I left my phone on my bed. So, like, I'm having a great podcast. I feel like I've just completely gobbled the entire introduction. And now I've just completely just fucked this up. And now I'm on Steam on my monitor. I'm not looking at my microphone and the sound quality is going to be terrible. Excuse me a second while I pick this up. So, Olija is a fantasy adventure platforming game about a man named Faraday who gets shipwrecked in a weird, mysterious land called Terraphage and finds a legendary harpoon. And
That's what she said.
there's this really awesome, like, animated trailer with, like, it's like a cartoon type style thing, which isn't the game is a pixel art thing. It's like a Super Brothers sword and sorcery type deal. But that's really nice artwork. But anyway, Faraday has to find his crew who's been captured by this clan called the Rotten One Clan, and find 3 fancy keys to unlock a spirit gate so he can go home with his crew. And that is what Olija is. It came out in January, Moody. So this was a result of me diving into the backlog. I've got my list of like 2021 games, right?
Yes.
The ones that I didn't play. Because obviously I've played a bunch of them. And I was like, I just looked at that list on Sunday. And I thought, I'm going to dive into something here. And I did the thing where it's like I was on the app, the Steam app, and I was like, oh, let's have a look at this. What are these games? And then I was like, ooh, Olija. That one's the one that's speaking to me right now. And I've been saying for the last few weeks, 2021's really gotten going. The games are fantastic. Like, it got off to a bit of a ropey start. Maybe I just played all the wrong games.
Yeah.
In the opening month and a half of 2021, because Olija is really good. It's really good.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it. I sat down and played it for a couple hours, and then we played Outriders. And then after we finished, I played some more of it, hit the credits, finished the game. Thought, this is great. That was great.
Fantastic. Right now on Open Critic, ladies and gentlemen, it's 79% by the critics.
Too low. Critics suck. Listen to me and only me. Well, listen to him.
What critics?
Listen to him as well, I guess. Listen to us and only us. Don't listen to Open Critic. Open Critic, review aggregate sites, like, they don't tell you anything. Unless a game is truly terrible. They tell you that. But apart from that, they don't tell you anything.
That is true. That is true indeed. So, what's worked for you on this game then?
Man, like, you asked me a question where it's like, okay, let me just get my chart out with my bullet points. And we'll go through the bullet points. And each one is its own individual slide presentation.
Yes.
Fine. So what really works for me in Olija is the storytelling. Like, the story in Olija is pretty good, you know? Like, it's very... I don't want to say vague, because vague has negative connotations. It's very mysterious. It's more about sort of lore and, like, learning about the world through small stories that... there's this old man ferryman who, like, ferries you around all these different islands that you visit in the game. Actually, put that up. It's environmental stuff, so it's like you learn about the world by exploring the world rather than by someone going, and now we're like you're on a tour bus going, and now we're approaching Skull Island. This is the home of, you know what I mean? Like, it's very much doesn't over explain, which is really neat. It's a storytelling style that when it's done right, I really enjoy. So the story's pretty cool, but it's the storytelling, because this is like a 2D, very pixely video game. You don't expect what you don't expect from a game like that is like top tier cinematography. Like, because we talk about cinematography on this podcast, like things like The Last of Us Part 2 has like fantastic cinematography. So does this game. Like, incredibly enough, despite like the type of game that it is.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a side scroller. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
platformer.
it's a side scroller, but it's really like the story itself and the way that it's told and the way that you experience it. It feels like a legend or a myth, right? It feels like you're experiencing like the legend of the harpoon wielder.
Oh yeah.
And for a lot of the game, it is very much just like, you know, it's 2D stuff. I mean, it's always 2D, but for a lot of it, it's very much just platforming or like 2D combat in a platforming environment, or it's like characters just talking to each other. But like, there are moments where some really cool shit happens. I'm trying to dance around it. So I'll use a couple of specific examples, which I wrote down somewhere on this list. This ink is reflective of light, and there is a bright light right above me. I have not thought this through.
No, you have not.
So for example, there's these people. They're like slaves to the Rottenwood clan. They're called Lost Souls, and for the most part, they don't really do anything. Like, you see them all over the place wherever you're traveling. But there's one specific level, because you visit a bunch of different islands and explore a bunch of different, essentially dungeons almost. And there's this one specific dungeon where you get making your way through, and then at the end of it, there's the key, like that you're here to collect, and it's like up this like climb, and there's a bunch of these lost souls. They try and climb it to get to it, and they can't reach it. So you use the harpoon to get across to it. And then as soon as you pick it up, they fucking freak out and they're losing their minds. And like, it does that parallax scrolling sort of thing. So like, in the foreground, there's tons of them like watching on, and in the background, there's like tons of them watching on. And when they, when like you've got the key, it's like, oh, it's time to get out of here because these guys are pissed. So you start running, and they're just falling from everywhere, and they're coming from all directions, and they're just trying to stop you. And I feel like in a lesser game, it would just be normal combat, right? It's just like, oh, you do the things that you've been doing, and they'll just like swipe at you, right? Punch you. These guys jump on you, right? So like, as you're running and they're trying to stop you, like one will just jump on you, and then you slow down a bit, and then another one will jump on you, and you'll slow down a bit more, and it's like you can mash the attack button and like fucking try and throw them off, and it just creates this awesome, epic scene where it like that's where it sort of feeds into the part where I'm like, it feels like you're experiencing this epic legend. Like there's a scene on an elevator. It's completely wordless. There's no dialogue between two characters that are on this elevator, and it's going up. It's going up for ages, and then you do a thing at the top, and then you get back on the elevator, and then the elevator goes back down, and it sounds really boring, but actually it's really cool because of how it's framed. I don't say shot because it's not a movie, but how it's framed. Like, there's fights in this game where, like, you have a fight with a character at a certain point, and it's like, it's meant to evoke, you know, like a samurai fight in an Akira Kurosawa movie, or like a one-on-one sort of thing, where it's a quick flurry of attacks, and then the action pauses, and then everyone takes like. There's a fight in this game that's supposed to evoke that feeling. So the developer just lets it happen like that. You just fight. There's no health bars. There's no like getting the upper hand or whatever. You're having this fight, this moving fight with a character that is in this 2D pixel art 16-bit game that made me think of an Akira Kurosawa film, and I think that's an impressive feat. I really do, and it was such an awesome thing to experience. I love
That's
that.
fantastic.
And there's so many moments like that throughout this game that I was just like, that was really cool. That was basically sort of like, I'd say like every half hour, 45 minutes, like I do a thing in the game. Like it's only 4 hours long, so like every half hour or so, and I just go, that was really cool. And then I go off and do the next thing, and I'm like, man, that was really cool too.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end of the game, and you're like, man, that whole thing was really cool.
That was just really cool.
Like, so the way the gameplay is broken up in terms of how you're completing your objectives. So you're getting the 3 keys that unlock the Spirit Gate, and you'll start off and you'll have a couple of islands you can visit, and you have to get golden keys from them to unlock a door that unlocks basically the boss fight for that area. You have to basically do that a few times. But, like, say there's 3 golden keys on an island. That's not 3 boss fights leading to another boss fight. That's maybe a boss fight, maybe like a mini boss fight, but then like I said, like there's a key that you can collect, a golden key that you can collect, that you just collect it, and then you have to just run from all of these guys trying to kill you. Or like you'll find Lady Olija, who's like a main character, and the relationship between Faraday and Olija is really, really well done and really interesting. And like she has the key and she'll give you the key. And then say at the time you get one of the keys. Like the story and the feel that the developer was going for with this game is never sacrificed in the sake of gameplay. Like, whereas a lot of other games would say, well, yeah, you might just get the key off Olija, but first you have to fight your way through all of these monsters and then fight a boss fight, and then you can get the key off Olija. It's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, she's parked up at this island. You just go to the island, you walk past the guards, and you're like, you bow to them. And then you go, and then there's a scene, and then you get the key, and you leave. And I love that. It's great. Like, it mixes things up in such a great way.
Yeah. That does mix things up really well. Not gonna lie. I'm looking at the art style. I love the 2-bit retro art style. I always have. I always will.
Good. Yeah.
It's so good. And the how I've seen a little bit of the gameplay there. It's very intriguing how you use the spear and everything like that.
Yeah.
I really like what I've seen.
So the harpoon, it's a thing you get.
Harpoon. Yeah.
It's spear harpoon. Same thing. It's just you're a boat captain and you're a sailor and you've got a crew. So there's a whole maritime theme going on throughout the game. But the harpoon is really cool. Like you use it as your main weapon, so you can just attack with it and whatnot, and you can throw it. If you can throw it at enemies, or you can throw it at, like, there's these weird little tentacle eye things. They're used for platforming, so you can throw it and attach it to that, and then you can zip towards it. So when you're attaching it to the weird little eye things, that's how you do platforming. Like, because there's a lot of puzzle platforming and traversal stuff in here. And when you do it in combat and you zoom towards it, that's an attack. So you go in and you go wha-pa when you get to the other side, and then you can continue that as a combo. Like when I was looking at this game first, I thought, oh, this is a hard game. Like, it screams, this is one of those games that's going to be challenging. The platforming and the combat with the harpoon and the mobility that the harpoon offers is going to be based on precision, it's based on mobility. The game's not one of those hard games. And I think maybe I've been conditioned to expect all 2D platforming action games to be hard because of like Dead Cells and Hollow Knight and Ori. But actually, no, it's not a difficult game. It's very much the gameplay is really satisfying, but not overly challenging, aside from a couple of minor difficulty spikes, one of which I caused myself on the final boss because I was being an idiot. But the harpoon is great, but it's just your main weapon. You also get 4 side weapons or secondary weapons that you can switch between during like gameplay, like at will. So you get like a rapier, for like quick switch stabs. You get the moon something, I can't remember what it's called. You get a sword, which is like a big fuck off sword. But even that, then what you can do with that is you can stab it into the ground. It's like the inverse of the harpoon. You can stab it into the ground and then you can like go somewhere and then teleport back to it. So it's like the inverse of the harpoon, and it's used in both traversal, and it's pretty cool in combat because if you stab it into the ground on one side of the arena, fling yourself to the other side of the arena, and then come back to the sword, you can just fuck some guys up. It's great. It's so cool. You also get a musket and a crossbow for ranged goodness. And if you jump and fire the musket in midair, it flings you backwards. Like so far, it's like, oh shit.
Nope.
Ooh,
Hit my
hello.
mic. Sorry there.
But it's like whether you're doing stuff in combat or stuff in like traversing the environment, it's really satisfying. Like there's some twists to what you can do and what some of the items that I've just described can do, which I'm not going to spoil.
Yeah.
Because they're really cool, and it's really cool to find stuff out for yourself sometimes in a game.
That's true. All right. Next question. What isn't working for you? Or what hasn't worked for you
Yeah,
since you completed the game?
yeah. I guess I finished it right. There's not enough of this game. Like I said, I finished it in 4 hours, and I loved every minute of it. And this isn't a it's too short thing. Like it's too short for its own good. Like when we were talking about Miles Morales last year, and I remember saying like I needed more of this to be fully invested in it. Whereas it's great the way it is. And I'm not knocking it for that, but I really wanted more. Like I wanted more like interactions between Faraday and Lady Olija, because one, the ones that were in the game were fucking great. Like I love the ending as well. And two, I want to learn more about this world, because it teaches you and you learn about the world in such an interesting way. Like every time you approach a new island, like there's the old ferryman who's like rowing the boat, or however the locomotion works on the boat.
Yeah.
And he just tells you this like short story about the place that you're going, and when you find like key areas, it's like he has like a little bit of narration of like what you're actually looking at. And I wanted to learn more about the world, like because it was interesting, it was fascinating, but like I feel like I could have visited a few more islands and sort of learned a little bit more about the Terraphage, which is the name of the world that you find yourself in.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my like main sort of gripe. It's like one of those things where it's like someone asks you what your biggest weakness is, and you say caring too much or working too hard. It's like it's not really a weakness, is it? And that's not really a gripe. It was so great. I wish there was more of it.
Well, that is truly a good game then. Like if you're asking for it, it's thinking, oh, I don't want it to end type of thing. And
Well, see, I can't, because I'd have to spoil the ending. But the
spoil it,
ending
yeah.
does this thing, and it's just like I didn't want.
Yeah.
I was like the 10th Doctor, really. Let's just put it this way. I was like David Tennant's Doctor. I didn't want to go. And that's all I'm going to say. But, yeah, there's one other thing I want to talk about as well. Hats. Don't make sense. So, when at the beginning of the game, you rescue this guy, and he goes back to the village, and there's like this hub world that you can visit. Or you go back there and you can heal up, and like you can spend resources that you collect, or like to increase your maximum health, or craft hats. And there's all these different hats that this guy that you've rescued can make, and they all have like different gameplay benefits.
Yeah.
So I think there's like eight, I want to say, in his hut. I didn't actually craft all of them, but they're pretty cool. Like there was this one where there was this one I crafted where I was like, because I was just crafting the ones that I could, right? Like I wasn't really fussed about like I want that one because it's awesome. I was like, cool, I can make this hat, so I'm gonna make it. And it was like it protected me from acid damage, and like a bar fills up underneath the health bar, and when it fills up, it would just explode acid everywhere. And then the very next mini boss I fought was just spitting acid everywhere, and I was just like, I was like Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi, just like, you can't hurt me, bro. What are you gonna do? Nothing. You're gonna do nothing because you ain't shit because of my hat. It was great. It was a great feeling. And then like there's other ones where it's like every time the bar fills up, you start hitting, like you can regain a little bit of health, which was a really useful one actually. But it was pretty neat. Like every time you go to an island, like you can equip whatever hat you want just before you go on, so you don't even have to worry about having the right hat equipped, because you can just scroll through them. And apparently the one that is like the one that gets you health when you attack enemies is the developer's favorite hat, because I unlocked a trophy that said equip my favorite hat. Not even kidding. That happened. It was the developer's favorite hat. And I was like, cool, because it's my favorite hat too. So I feel this kinship now with the developer of Olija. You are muted.
Didn't realize that. That's fantastic. It's always good to know that you've just clicked with what the developer and the creators have done, and that's what you really want from a game and everything like that. And that's what's fantastic to hear.
Oh, I really clicked with this game in a way that was just unexpected, right?
Yeah, I've added it to the wish list on my.
Yeah, sorry, I bought it on PlayStation.
Don't have to apologize.
So you can't play it on my account. Sorry.
Don't apologize for that. Don't worry about that.
Give it 6 months. Give it 6 months or so.
Hopefully, yes. So, what's your overall final thoughts before we move on?
My overall final thoughts of Olija is this game is excellent. Like, I think of like the games that I would say are my favorite games of 2021 so far. Sort of like your Hitman 3, your Loop Hero, your Genesis Noir, your Mario Bowser's Fury, and like I like that's in there, like in among like Olija is like in amongst that. Like it's up there as one of like it's one of my favorite things I've played so far this year. Like I clicked with it. I enjoyed like it was 4 hours and I enjoyed all 4 hours. Like there was not a part where I was frustrated. There was not a part where I felt bored. Like I just loved every bit of it. And when I finished it yesterday night, and I was just like, and I sat back and the credits were rolling, I was just like, damn, I'm really glad that I did that. Like it's really nice to just like, cause I mean, don't get me wrong, I love like looking at the release schedule and going, oh, this game's out, and then like let's play it straight away. But it's really nice to like have this list of games and just look through it and go, I like the look of that. I'm gonna do that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a crack.
And then playing it and then being like, I've got good. I know myself quite well. I've got great taste.
Was it not on the list of Game Pass yet?
No.
That was released. I was just thought, oh, Game Pass.
To be fair, the next game we're going to talk about is you've played Narita Boy, and to be fair, like it was like so close to me actually playing Narita Boy, purely because it was on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the only game on that list of like games I have that I haven't played from 2021 where I was like, it's on Game Pass. So I almost just downloaded that. In fact, I think I did download it, but I didn't play it. Instead, I was like, I'm really feeling this Olija game, or Olija as I was calling it, and it probably is pronounced Olija, but I don't care. I want to sound pretentious. And I'm really glad I just jumped in, bought it off PS Store. There's no number. Just bought it off PlayStation Store and was like, yes, what a great game.
The PlayStation Store, that's going to stay up for a bit.
The one that's going to be on for a little while yet. It's the PS5 Store, right?
Yeah.
Hope they don't take the PS5 Store down. It's not even about game preservation. It's just about where do I get my games from?
Well,
proper made the Pac-Man death sound there. Whoa.
Did I? Okay.
I'm gonna get comfy because I could shut the book for this week.
yes, you can. So it's my turn. My turn, ladies and gentlemen. I played Narita Boy, published / developed by Team 17. This is my 80s geekasm to the extreme with what they've done on this game. First, it's 2-bit, visually retro style looking, which looks absolutely breathtaking. Then you throw into the nostalgia pops of products of Apple, and then you throw in nostalgia pops of Star Wars or Masters of the Universe, even though that weren't a great film, but either way, Masters of the Universe is still the mythos is good. Then you've got like a Tron and everything like that, and then you've got a soundtrack. What I tell you now, Amy, this is a soundtrack I think you would love. I'll say that right now. This is a soundtrack right up the alley of Amy. And then you throw in the mythos of Japanese culture and how and their mythologies that they believe and everything like that, and it gives you a game with those combinations that is an RPG action platformer of my dreams.
Your
I've
dreams.
absolutely loved what I've played so far of
That's
Narita
awesome.
Boy.
I want
It
to
is
just.
like
No, go on. You keep going.
it is. I'm like popping like crazy for this game. I really, really am enjoying it. I'm about halfway through it, give or take, and I'm just like, it's great. You you are basically playing a game that is selling well in the game's verse, and you've been sucked into it. And you are Narita Boy going through a very sad story. What I am noticing when reading it, and I'm just like, okay, this is that weaves in the myths of the Japanese culture and their mythology that they have and into it, and it's just really, really, really sad but beautiful at the same time. And I'm hoping it's going to finish on a good end of that story, of for the story. Then you throw in the combat, which you have a sword, which is also a shotgun, Amy. It is a shotgun sword, which is awesome. And you can also do a giant beam, like kind of like the villain from the first Thor movie, the giant metal thing that he has to fight in the first Thor movie. You can't remember that. Never mind. People, you'll know what I mean.
Another Smash. That's basically all I remember of Thor.
Yeah.
Chuck was in it. So.
Yeah. He had one. He didn't even
like
have a
one
line
line.
in Ragnarok.
No, he had a
Yeah.
line in the second one.
Yeah. No, he wasn't in the first one. He was in the second one and the
Was
third
he?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I do only remember one thing about Thor then.
Yeah. The worst film. And then Ragnarok, where he had no words. But either way, I've this.
He did have a line. It was.
Yeah, something like that.
Like it's really cool to hear your thoughts on this, like, because like to set the scene properly, we were messaging each other today, like, and it was like, oh, like for the podcast, like I think we should do X, Y, and Z, like blah blah blah, and we were discussing the games, and it was like cool, and then like a few hours later, I just got a message which was 3 words, and it just said add Narita Boy, no follow up, no. No context. It was just add Narita Boy, and it was like, all right then, I guess I'm adding Narita Boy.
Yeah.
So I was really fascinated to know why.
Yeah. This is bonkers good, Amy.
I've got a trailer. I don't obviously
Yeah.
have gameplay because I haven't played it.
Yeah, this is bonkers good. That like it is so good.
So, what's your favorite thing about it? Tell me your favorite thing about it.
My favorite thing about it is the mythos, what they are weaving into each other, along with the soundtrack. The soundtrack really brings a lot of depth to the film, to this, to the game, along with the story and everything. Like when you're finding out certain elements of the story, it changes to a very noir, a very slow beat, but a slow beats theme along the way, and it's just like, oh my god. This is beautiful, but oh my god, it's tragedy at the same time. And it's like a whole thing, and it's like so good. And then you get into the action, which is just they pace in the action so well because it's not all straight into action, constant action all the time. You've got traversal where you have to try and puzzle elements part to it, and then you've got
like traversal environmental puzzles.
Yeah,
It's like, how do I get to the right hand side of the screen?
the keys, you have to find keys with your floppy disks, Sammy, which is incredible. They look so awesome. Yeah. You have a horse which looks like an Apple Macintosh. You have a horse that looks like an Apple Macintosh, Sammy, and it looks awesome in it.
Well, somebody enjoyed Ready Player One.
Oh, I loved Ready Player One.
I meant the developer.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. But Amy, man, it's
I
like
just saw the laser in the trailer.
yeah, giant laser from you, a sword that can turn into a shotgun as well. It's just so unique and it doesn't throw you into the part of where it's spikes the difficulty up at really high parts or anything like that. If all the bosses that I've fought so far all have their very simple tells that literally do show you that are telling you this is how you can beat this type of thing or anything like that. It's just so it just flowed really well. I'm loving what I've played so far. Amy. It is so
Awesome.
good. I've loved like they give you each new ability. And obviously, because with a new ability, they add in a new enemy, and new enemy is just combats is able to go toe to toe with this new ability, and it works really well. And it's just then you have to figure out using that new ability, but also combine them with the abilities you already have, and doing that just makes it even more sexy. I'll say that.
Sexy. All right.
Sexy. Yeah. It's sexy.
So is this a linear platformer or a
Yeah.
Metroidvania? So it's a linear
So
platformer.
it's linear platformer. So
That's
what I'm
good.
telling you is
That's
a
good.
linear platformer. Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, just I feel like I'm chilled. I'm chilled on Metroidvanias at the moment.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
So what's your least favorite thing about the game?
Honestly, the giant, just because of this for me personally, the giant boxes of text for the game really can't. If I want, because I struggle with reading sometimes, I don't deny that, ladies and gentlemen. And like having it to read, it's like, oh my god. Thankfully, I am understanding it and everything, which is
That's
really,
good.
really good on that part. But yeah, that just it's because I'm just like I don't want to be reading something. God, just give me something to listen to. Then I go and slice up things. Type
If I
of
wanted
thing.
to read, I'd be playing a visual novel game. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, or I'll be reading a book.
I'll be reading a book.
Yeah, no, that's just my
No,
personal.
that's fine. Like, if that's what your least favorite thing is, that's what your least favorite thing is. Like, people.
No, that's just something. It's just an angsty thing for me. It's just that any type of game makes me do that.
That's
what I'm
something
really.
That's something I sometimes like. I'm just like, this is so much reading. Like,
yeah,
we were playing it. It was Outriders, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we were playing it yesterday, and I was screaming at the game, "Just let me shoot things!"
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of excited for what you've told me about the updated version of
Disco Elysium, the final cut. When you
yeah.
said that, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna slip in a reference to the final cut because it's like, I'm like super looking forward to it with voice acting.
Yeah. Well, I've got that all installed, so I will be getting around to it.
Same.
Hopefully soon, but
I want to stream it at some point. Like once we finish It Takes Two. I think I'm gonna jump into Disco Elysium while you do your Dead Spaces and whatever else you do.
Sweet.
But
sweet.
no, like that's on Narita Boy. So how's the combat feel?
I think it flows really well. It's
Fast?
very intuitive. I play it on a controller. Obviously, can do keyboard if you want to, but no controller. It's mapped very well and very easy for you to know which buttons you need to know to do to move around and everything. You got a dodge, which really is really good. You got a simple button for just slicing and dicing things up. Simple button just to press to turn your gun into the shotgun. Simple. It's really good. You got a power up to power up your sword to slice things. Yeah, it's just like awesome. It's all my 80s love all in one game. And I know there's many of those games out there because there are truly many of those games out there, but they've brought it up to the modern standard for me, up to this level, up to what we are now in the 20s and everything, and it just flows really well.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you specifically wanted to mention about the game?
It's on Game Pass, ladies and gentlemen. Go and give this game a go.
You know what's ironic?
It deserves your love.
What's ironic is the trailer that I've pulled is a PlayStation trailer. literally,
Get it on
it's
PlayStation,
literally
ladies and
got the
gentlemen.
PlayStation logo at the beginning. It's looped like 3 times now.
Yeah, yeah. It's on
Yeah,
PlayStation if
yeah.
you want to play it on PlayStation, yeah. But no, yeah.
It's
This
on
is in
Game
Game Pass
Pass
right
as a
now, which is the best thing in gaming right now, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Amy scream to the tops about that, and it really is. And when you've got games like this, just makes it even more sexier.
yeah,
Like I've got already downloaded the game that you talked about last week that you really, really enjoyed about the Big Bang thing game
Genesis.
thing. Yeah. I've got that installed and I was gonna go onto that hopefully in the next week or two. Along with the other games that we're gonna be playing and everything. But yeah, I'm
With
really
everything else.
yeah. And
Thanks,
then we
game
hit
industry, for releasing
yeah.
3 co-op games all at once. Thanks. Love you. Love it. Love it. Thanks very much. You fucking dickheads. We'll get around to Monster Hunter eventually.
We will, yeah, we will. I think that's gonna be a
It's gonna,
slow burn
it's
one
gonna
now,
take some
that one.
time. It's gonna take some time
Yeah.
for us to get to that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a couple of weeks, and then we'll have to get to it sooner or later because obviously May is coming, and then boom, May.
Yeah, May is coming. Like April's slow, but May is like, uh
No.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that's cool. I like the fact I love hearing about indie games that I've not played. Like,
Mhm. I personally love Team 17. Like I loved Overcook. They're like crazy, you know. I've been thinking of going back to that game and everything like that. But yeah, it's I'm a huge fan of that team, so they've done a really good job here.
awesome.
Show them the love, ladies and gentlemen.
Do it.
Show them the love.
I can't remember what I said was next. It Takes Two, right?
Takes two.
It Takes Two. So last week we gushed tremendously over the gameplay of It Takes Two. After our first stream of the game. And the second stream of the game, because we were like, we want it. Well, I said, I don't know. Like Moody probably agreed. I don't know. I just kind of talk sometimes, and he just nods. I said, like we said, we wanted to like experience more of the story and the characters before we talked in depth about the story and the characters. And boy, howdy, Moody, it's a good job we did, because if we discussed the story and the characters in depth last week, it would have been a very different conversation than if we discussed it this week after the events of the second stream of It Takes Two. Because fucking Jesus. Like, do you want to talk about the first? We streamed for about 6 hours all total. So, should we talk about the first 5 hours and 40 minutes of It Takes Two story characters before we talk about the 20 minutes that ended the last stream we did of it?
I want to preface that this game is still probably right now, even though I haven't finished, is probably my game of the year so far. I've loved this game. It is truly unique and incredible for what they have done, for how imaginative it is, the gameplay loops and everything what they've thrown in, because every level is something different and it's fantastic.
Like, we had such fun, even like with the different gameplays of the second stream, where it was like the freaking bit where it turns into a freaking dungeon crawler.
Yeah,
that's better than
that
Minecraft
was incredible.
Dungeons. And
yeah, you're not wrong there. You really
and the seesaw bit, where it was like, figure out how to do the seesaw. Yeah, it was like, Moody,
Yeah.
stand over there. Oh, you're gonna have to shrink yourself, because you can shrink yourself. Like, I'll jump on it.
Yeah, like there's elements you're going to see in the highlight video in April later this month, but this game is really, 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 really
so
great.
much fun. And even like, I mean, I don't know, like despite the events of the castle, like I'm still looking forward to playing it.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly checked out on the story after after what happened, and it's hard to talk about because it's so far in the game. Is it spoilers? But also, it's kind of like a warning, because like one of the things that, I mean, don't get me wrong, like the stuff that happened specifically like turned my stomach, and it would have done either way. But I think the fact that it's like it feels like an ambush in the middle of the game. Like, I feel like I should, like, I feel like I wish someone had warned me that was coming.
Yeah,
right. Because there's a, like, just to like talk in slightly less vagaries so people kind of know what we're talking about. There is like, it's a fun, goofy game about two dumb idiots who are trapped in dolls' bodies, and it's lighthearted with the occasional sort of like, if you imagine you're watching a Pixar movie and you see a joke for adults. It's kind of like there's
Yeah.
moments in there like that where it's like it's a joke for the adults in the room, right? And then there's just this very abrupt tonal shift, but like not in a way where it's like, ooh, that got a bit dark, but like it goes way further than it needed to for me personally, like to just be upsetting, like
Yeah. It is like the characters throughout throughout the level leading up to the part what me and the Amy are alluding to talk about this is what we need to do type of thing, and we were like jokingly saying, "Oh my god, these are terrible people," blah blah blah. But then they're probably not going to actually do this, are they? And no,
no parent would do this to their kid, right?
yeah, yeah, they actually did it, and it does for how what you were saying, how colourful it is, and how fun it is, goofballiness and everything. It does come out of nowhere, and it is a tonal shift out of nowhere, really. And it was a surprise. I was just like, especially in the next part after the whole thing happened, and I was just like, fuck.
What the fuck? It's like we've just done this one thing, which is
Yeah,
horrible. And like the VOD is still up on Twitch. Like if you got like the last 20 minutes of the VOD, it's silence. And I looked at it again. I don't know if you actually looked at it
no,
on Twitch. You should just the look on my face. Like I do not want to be there. Like it's terrible. But then then there's the scene after, which is just like I don't know, like I lost all respect for the characters. But like it had the sort of knock on effect where it's just like I don't care about the story anymore. Like, I have to continue to inhabit these two characters. I hate them. Like, the story of It Takes Two from the outset is the two characters are parents who are going through a divorce. And then like it takes a turn into like fairy tale land, right? So like the kid somehow turns them into little dolls, and they have to navigate a world Toy Story style where they're really small and everything's huge. And there's like awesome moments where there's like, you stumble into a war between squirrels and wasps, and it's mental, but also great. And like the entire time you're sort of thinking like, because there's the book Dr. Hakim, who's like, hey, I'm gonna fix your relationship, and like I was like, cool, like maybe it's a fairy tale, right? So they'll figure out that they really love each other and they'll get back together and they'll be like a happy family unit, like. No, the best place for this kid to be is as far away from these two parents as possible.
Yeah. I think for a caveat, it's like if for anybody in any part of their life has had problems with their parents or anything like that, this might not be the best game for you. And I'm still saying that this is still arguably probably my favorite game so far this year. But I will say that caveat that there's an element here that, wow, like it floored me, like just thinking they actually doing this. They're actually doing this, and
it's like
ballsy to them, to them. It's ballsy, and hopefully it pays off at the end when we finish it and everything, and we come back like the end maybe next week, and we say, okay, we know what we said last week, but it's actually it all gets redeemed, and they still douchebags at that certain part, but it does redeem itself at the end. But they have to do some serious redeeming. But
you have to get through that part first, and like I do have that kind of relationship with my parents, and it is very triggering. Like not necessarily the horrific drawn out scene, which goes on for way too long, and makes you feel way too terrible. The scene afterwards is very triggering. For anyone who has a strange relationship with their parents. Like, and I don't know, like even if we get through and the rest of the game is fine and it's fun and it's back to that sort of goofball-y, whimsy sort of thing, it's like still have to get through that scene. It still exists, and another thing I was thinking about through the week, like well after we'd done the stream, is like there's probably parents who are playing this game with their kids.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even know, like, if I was sitting there playing that with a kid, I don't even know
Yeah.
how. Like, I'd be running towards the Xbox, PlayStation, or whatever, and I'd just fucking pull the plug out of the wall and just be like, oh, well, no more game.
Oh well, the
Yeah,
game broke.
the game broke.
Yeah, it can be very triggering if you've got those problems or anything, or have had those problems and everything like that. And like it came out of nowhere. It really did for both me and Amy. Like we knew that they were like saying the things, but we actually just didn't think that whole thing would happen. And like, and it just. And you tried, they tried. It's like this doesn't. They say this doesn't feel good and everything like that. I was thinking, okay, that part that's fine, even though you still went through with it. It's the next scene which just buries them even more, and I'm just like, the hell, man? Are they trying to do what Last of Us did with it, with
Right. And
Ali last year?
and
You
that's
muted,
the thing.
No, go on.
No. And that's the thing. Is we're playing It Takes Two, right? And you said this in the stream, and I thought it. I had trouble talking like throughout a lot of this, but I thought what you said. And it's It Takes Two should not be reminding me or or feel reminiscent of one of the most traumatic scenes in The Last of Us Part Two. Like in no way. And I'm sorry, like I don't like Joseph Fares has a creative vision and the team has a creative vision, whatever. In no way should this game be evoking memories and feelings of The Last of Us Part Two.
Not at all.
Not halfway through the game when nothing has prepared you for this.
Yeah.
Going in, like, because yeah, and there'll be tons of people out there who think I'm overreacting, like to what I saw. It's like I'm just telling you how I felt, and I felt awful. It ruined my entire night.
Yeah. Like we were hoping to, I won't lie, I'll say right now, I was probably hoping to still continue in that level that night, but because of how it sucked the energy out of both of us, probably more than you than it did for me. But I felt it myself. I was just like, kind of feel like I need to put this down now, just for the day or something like that. And like
Put
we
this
haven't
down
played
and
it.
hug my
We haven't
friends.
played
Oh
it
wait, I
since.
can't.
Yeah.
It's coronavirus.
Yeah, we haven't played it since or anything like that. We intend to get back to it this week and everything.
It wasn't just because of that. It was like we had a plan to play it, and then we did. I had to amend the plan to write 12,200 words about Control. April's dissertation was shorter than that. I asked her. My Control essay is longer than April's dissertation.
You can do some writing for me if you want for college.
God no, I'm done with writing. Like I'm taking a break after this. Like Dishonored can wait. But yeah, that's it. Like everything leading up to it again was really great, and I had a good time with it. But it's hard. Like all I remember specifically about that last stream was that bit. Like
Yeah.
I struggle to remember like specifics about everything that happened before it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
I can
was
remember the other one
fun.
because I've got the gameplay footage up and I'm watching it.
Yeah. Thing is, what we played was so fun. That's the thing about
Yeah,
it. We were having fun. We were having a ball and laugh at everything. But yeah, there is an element that just suck the energy out. And
it just gives me complicated feelings. Like because you have your Google Doc, which I weirdly still have access to for some reason, where I can see how you've got this ranking system for games, and I have a running tally. Like, and I change it frequently, but I don't really pay much attention to it until like December for obvious reasons. Like, It Takes Two is at 1. Like, before we did that stream, It Takes Two was at the top. I'm not gonna lie, it was my favorite game that I'd played so far in 2021, and now it's in its own little bit at the bottom where it just says X because I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Like, so we'll play on and stream the rest of the game, and if something like that happens again, I might just have to walk away from the game. Like,
I understand that if you did.
We'll see. I'd like to finish it because I like playing games with you, Mooney. Go figure.
Oh, konnichiwa. Arigato.
All right, we should more because we've still got a couple of things to talk about, and
Only got one more thing, innit? Oh no, yeah, we got Among Us.
yeah, we've got Among Us. You wanted to talk about the airship, which was what we did
thought we
on
both-
Saturday. Yeah,
Yes, we
it
did.
was your idea. I'm giving you credit for your idea.
Oh, no, I'm not used to getting credit.
How dare you?
Yeah. Yes, so the new map for Among Us has dropped. The squad all squatted up to play it.
I don't want to have footage of
Wowzers. This new map is huge.
Was an experience, right?
Yeah, it was an experience and a half. And it's like you said that we chatted about it like after we played it and everything like that. There's a couple of tweaks we need to figure out for this game to make it rightly balanced, because if you put 2 imposters in, it's too OP for the imposters. But if you put 1 imposter in, it's probably too OP for the
crewmates.
For the crewmate.
Well,
respect to Ryan.
And
he won.
He
for
won.
That.
Respect to Phil, because he got so close as well. Because I died in that one and I stepped out for Ryan's one, so I kind of watched most of those 2 runs, and I was so rooting for Phil to win, and he got so close.
Almost so close. He really
and then Ryan actually did, and that was funny because that was the match I skipped, and I came back and I got his stream, put it up on my stream, and I was literally like fucking just cheering him on by the end. I was like, he's gonna do it! He's gonna do it!
He did it as well.
But
did an incredible job.
We went through like a few different phases where it's like we started and it was chaos, and there was 2 imposters, and the imposters were killing everyone because nobody knew where they were, what they were doing, anything. And then it was like, cool, we need to drop this back to 1 imposter. Like, I figured it would make it too difficult for the imposter, but it was mostly just so we could all sort of figure out the map a little bit and the tasks. And I think it worked, because even when we came back to doing 2 imposters again later on in the night, it was a more OP for the imposters, but you had when you were a crewmate in that scenario, you still had a better sense of where everything was and what you were doing, and so it worked in that regard. And I mean, it must have done, because I was able to lie about where I was and get away with it based on where everybody else was.
Yeah, because no one knows where everything is.
Because I was like, I'm in the vault, guys. I'm polishing a gem. I'm polishing the gem in the vault, and it's like, no, I was standing 3 feet away from the corpse. I didn't see Moody in the room, and thankfully Moody didn't see me.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, all I saw was
and I was like,
body distraught.
Oh no, he saw me, and then I didn't see anyone. I was like round the corner. Even Erica messaged me, and she was just like, "How did Moody not see that?" And I messaged her back like, "To be fair, I didn't see him at all."
Yeah. It's Among Us is still one of those great times where we have every Saturday and everything like that. A couple of more tweaks on for us, and I think we'll have it down and everything. But wow, it is a step up like crazy from the other 3 maps that we have to this.
Yeah, it's great. There's ladders, there's a moving platform. There's a Star Wars type thing where there's the two platforms that you can see across this massive gap, but you can't get to it.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
So you could be standing there and see someone get killed and be like, but you have to run around to get to it.
Yeah, I'm pray that you don't get killed on the way back.
Yeah, it's so cool. Visibility, because there's different levels with ladders and stuff. Visibility is a cool thing as well. Where it's just you can be in a place and not be seen. When I was on when I got on the moving platform to go across, and just as I was going across, I saw your dead body drop to the ground. But because of the way the angles were, I couldn't see who had killed you. And I was like, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
And also, Moody's dead, what do I do?
It's
yeah, it's so cool. I'm looking forward to figuring out all the cool little tricks and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot into it. There's no doubt about it. And it's like it feels exhausting getting around in it. I won't lie, because of how big it is. It's like, I'm over here. Oh, I need to get over here.
Yeah, it's like I'm still trying to figure out the routes and stuff and like which way to
Yeah.
go when I need to get to certain places. But like we've sort of figured out where the emergencies, where you have to go to like figure out but to turn off the alarms and stuff.
Yeah, we're getting there.
There was a funny moment which will be in the April highlights video, like in a couple of months, where me and Moody were hiding in the same vent.
Yeah.
And then I had to get out because I was like, my kill cooldown's not going down. Shit, I need to stay. So I just got out and I stood there for a minute. For like 5 seconds, and then it went, okay, I can kill someone now, and then jumped back in the vent. And then I went, I'll go to the other side, because we were waiting for someone to come and fix the alarm. Went to the other side, and I could just see Smashy on the other side of the door standing there. And I was like, what's he doing? Oh, he'll be stuck on the card swipe. And he was just stood there like, come on.
Yeah, that new thing is monstrously
Oh, it's
evil.
so evil. It's so evil. Like, you close the doors and you've got to over them by swiping a card. It's like, oh, come on.
There was one time after I died, that's because I was the imposter one time, and I got voted out. Like, I kept closing the doors.
You were just following me.
Smashing just stayed at a door forever. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to school for ENCC. Came back across, Smashing was still there. And I was like, oh my god, that poor guy. He's just like, ah!
Let me in.
Something like that, yeah. The thing is, he would have gone in and just seen someone kill someone. He'd be like, let me out!
Oh my god, like, there was a moment, because he got the records room, which has obviously 4 doors, and when you close the doors, you close all 4 of them. And I got confused about which way I was needing to go, and I ended up having to open 3 doors in a row. And I was just like, this is the worst. This is toxic. Oh my god, open. Oh, but it's going to be good fun. It's going to be good to add it to the rotation, because the thing I like about the Among Us maps is each one kind of serves a specific purpose.
Yeah.
And I think the airship map is going to sort of be the map where it's like, we have a full squad of 10 people. Let's do the airship. I think that's going to be sort of the purpose that the airship serves. Hide and seek will be fun, though. Imagine standing on that little platform and going, and then you can just see the killer at the other side. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right, it's just like, be Norman Osborn from the Spider-Man movie.
Can Spider-Man come out to play? But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Among Us is always fun, and it was fun to be a complete and total noob at it again.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But yeah, we're all noobs on it again.
Yeah, like no one has any clue. I mean, it works in your advantage when you're the imposter, and you can literally just, someone goes, where are you? I don't know. I
think I'm in a cargo bay, but I think is that close to the signal phone thingy? I don't know. Leave me alone. Just vote Ryan out. When in doubt. Remember what I said, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so let's bring us to our final thing. So we played a bit of Outriders over the weekend. We're going to play more and do a full dive into it again, whether it's both of us or just me. I'm hoping it's both of us because I had a lot of fun playing with you. But it's basically what we played was the demo. Like, it was the same content that I played when we talked about it on the podcast. Was it in March?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, back ages ago when I was talking about Outriders. So I thought we could just do sort of a quick few minutes of, hey, Booty, you've played Outriders now. What did you think of it?
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, exactly, right? It's fine.
Fine. Honestly, it's fine. It's nothing special. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, something to grind and everything like that, and all like that. And I'm just like, it's fine. I've enjoyed I think what's getting me along well is obviously I'm playing with you and everything. If I was playing this by myself, I'd be like, I would have been out. I would have been like, nah, I'm good. Thank you very much, type of thing. So I have enjoyed playing with you and everything. I need to figure out like a proper style for like for my guns and everything like that, just for my own personal sake. I've enjoyed like they've made your character have a personality. I've enjoyed that. They like seeing her like just walking in and say, "Oh, you this guy? Yeah." I love that. I was like, that's badass. I like that. That's not bad. Like, so
Oh
they've done
man,
that's not bad.
you ruined
But
my one-liner. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I'm just like, but yeah, it's fine. I don't think this is going to be as spectacular as what I think a lot of people are hoping it to be. I don't think this is going to be like the Destiny killer or anything like that. I don't think anyone
No,
was
I don't,
touting it to be that. But
Outriders is a bit deceptive, and I talked about this when we talked about the demo. In that it kind of looks a bit like it's trying to be a Destiny game or a Destiny type game, but it's not. It's a co-op third-person shooter, right? Like it's not a lot. It's not a persistent online. There's not going to be like seasonal content updates and raids and all this other stuff too. It's like it's someone. I saw someone on Twitter say that Outriders is like a throwback to an Xbox 360 shooter. And I was like, that's actually a good description of what Outriders is. It's a co-op shooter. As opposed to Destiny again. Or Anthem again, if it's bad. It's like Destiny if it's good, Anthem if it's bad. But
Division and Division's in the
Division's
middle.
in the middle somewhere. But no, it's cool. It's fun to play. I like the powers. Like I like the special abilities that you get, and like you're playing the pyromancer, and we make a lot of Avatar jokes, and
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
I'm playing the trickster, and I'm just fucking like it's like, oh look, bad guys, and like any normal third person shooter, it's time to get into cover. But when it's like with the way you play the trickster, where it's like you have to be right up close, it's like for me, it's just like, oh look, bad guys.
yeah. If he just charges right in, so it's perfect aiming game right now, just for a character anyway. I'm enjoying the pyromancer. I just need to figure out her ability or like the ability for like how I heal myself. I can't remember what it was.
You have to mark. So I guess like one of your abilities is like marks enemies, and then like enemies that are killed when that are marked will heal you. So if you mark a guy as I'm about to like fucking just punch his fucking head off, and then I punch his head off, you'll get healed by it. At least that's what I think it is.
I need to.
It's the one character I didn't actually play.
Thank you. Right
I mean, to be fair, like if you got all of the gear, because we've only played like a couple hours of it. If you took all your gear off your character, put it in your stash, created another character of a different class, skip the prologue because you can do that now that you've done it once, and then like it would take like an hour to get back to where you're at now, and you'd have all the gear that you had. So if you want to experiment with a different class, we could do that pretty easily.
Yeah, I'll see how I feel.
Be an earthbender. Just like stamp the ground. Earth everywhere.
That's the tank, isn't it? That's the tank,
that's the tanky one. You have to anything that dies when you're in close quarters with it will heals you.
That's alright.
And then the Technomancer is basically life leech. You shoot someone and you get a little bit of health back.
Should have been that one.
That's the one that throws turrets and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's alright. I don't think it's
fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's on Game Pass. Give it a crack.
With the caveat. No, you go on.
If you're not wanting on Game Pass, it's for free right now on the demo. So the demo, I believe, is still up.
Yeah,
so
you can give it a shot.
Demo cry, and you'll know if you like it or not. I think the demo will tell you if you like it or not.
Yeah.
Like if I was like I said, if I was by myself, I would have been like, nope. But as I've played with Amy and everything like that, this is a game for me. You have to play with friends. If you play by yourself, I don't think you're going to enjoy it.
No, I think I mentioned that in the last time where it's like I think because of the way the healing works, I think playing it alone is problematic.
Yeah, I agree.
Because especially when you've got everything just like focusing on you. Instead of like, well, we have it where it's like there was a moment where I was taking on all of the ads and you were taking on the mini boss. And it was an accident. I just accidentally teleported in the middle of all the ads and couldn't get away from them. So I was just like fighting everybody in the level, and he was just fighting the captain, I think it was.
It was brutalizing me.
He was brutalizing you, yeah.
It was a bit of a pain.
Like I think once you start unlocking skill, because I want to say with the caveat of this isn't our like in-depth impressions. Like there's gameplay mechanics we haven't unlocked yet, because we're not that far into the game. So we might come back after playing like 10 hours of it or 5 hours of it or whatever we play next and go, actually, you know what, this is pretty dope, but we'll see. Because there's like, what I've noticed is, just as we were getting towards like getting the rewards for the last quest that we had, it's like we've started unlocking like armor and weapons that have abilities all tied to them. So like, because like there's some tactics involved in like fighting the bosses and the mini bosses, in that like you want to interrupt their attacks. You see that yellow bar filling up, and if one of your skills that has interrupt and you hit them, it'll interrupt the thing. And I equipped a piece of armor specifically that gives one of my other skills interrupt if I use it. And I was like, and I did that because I was like, man, I keep like, because the cooldowns are so long. And it's like, I've already got one interrupt skill, and I hit it with the boss, and the boss starts doing another attack, and it's like, well, I guess I'll die. But now I've got two. Like, so I think there's ways to like, the further into the game, when you go up the skill trees, because there's like 3 different skill trees that you can crisscross between as well. That'll like influence your play style. So I think like the further into the game you go, the more you'll be able to influence the play style of your character and like tailor it to how you're playing the game or how you want to play the game. So basically, I think 10 hours from now, it'll have opened up a bit more, and we'll have our characters set up just a little bit more for like how we prefer to play them. And
that's true.
We'll probably be a bit more sort of like on the game, but
hopefully.
Yeah, we've capped the world tier as well because difficulty is not something we want from this game.
That's true. Yeah, we do not need that in our life.
Just a little bit of a challenge. Not like world tier 15, which is 5 tiers above the world tier called impossible. Impossible isn't the top world tier difficulty. What's that all about? People can fly. Come on. Come on. But yeah, Outriders is fun. Like, I'm playing. I am playing the hyper aggressive class. You've seen me play Apex. That's in my wheelhouse.
Have you seen the new update for Apex?
No.
I think they've added Titans in there.
Good God, really? They finally added it. Just make Respawn. Just make Titanfall 3 for God's sake.
But obviously, like Titanfall's just like a game.
Mute.
So it's like
mute. It's not working. God damn it! I'll just turn your volume all the way down. There we go. I did it. I muted you. Titanfall 3 is the best game. Best first-person shooter of the last generation, isn't it, Mooney? What's funny is your box is still flashing green. So I can still see you trying to talk.
I said, say what?
You did it to me, didn't you?
No, I haven't muted me. I haven't muted.
What?
I'm not muted. No.
You
Did
were.
you mute me?
I muted you. I turned your volume down because I really didn't. You know what? I really don't need you trashing Titanfall every time I say the word Titanfall.
That's true. That's true. We could talk about a run mechanic if you want.
I will fucking kill you. You know what's going to happen now, don't you? Everyone's going to watch this podcast, and I'm going to have to fucking deal with that for the next 2 weeks, and then you're going to sit here and go, "It wasn't me. I didn't do it." And you're always the one that starts it. When Halo Infinite,
the one who finishes it.
When Halo Infinite comes out, Mooney might be fired because I will have beaten him to death. This is my confession.
I'll put that when I tweet it out tomorrow to this episode. Also, aka this is Amy's confession of murdering me as well. At the end, say stamp this, save this point.
We're gonna play Halo. You know what? No, I'm gonna play it with Keith.
Oh no, you can't do that to me. You need me, Amy.
I don't, because the second you get the fucking prompt, the tutorial prompt for sprinting, that's it. That's gonna be the next 6 months of my life.
I swear, I will not say the sprint mechanic anymore in Halo. If I do,
I'm gonna beat you to death.
Sophia, you can beat me to death. Okay?
I'll get Sophia to just punish you. And then she'll do it.
She does that enough. Don't worry.
She'll do it because we're tight like that. That's going to do it for episode 25 of the weekly review. I feel like a good place to end a podcast is just after you've confessed to the future murder of your co-host.
That's true. That's true. Wait, it was episode 25?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I looked it up at the beginning and everything.
I honestly thought it wasn't.
Let's get out of here, Moody, because it's actually Monday night when we're recording this, and I need to upload it.
Yes! Some great games, ladies and gentlemen. Go and give them all a try.
But
watch out for it takes too.
Yeah, 3 out of the 5 of the games that we talked about were in Game Pass. What? Say bye, Moody.
Bye, Moody.